Hey y'all, I am back with just a light video today because I wanted to sound check the new microphone because I know it was a little bit low when I did the react to Mr. Snowflake reacting to Foodie. And I wanted him to be louder because I had problems with that before where the people I was reacting to you couldn't hear. So I'm going to do this as a test. You let me know how the new mic sounds. I really do like it. It's not really that new. Greg got it for me last year and it sat in the box because I still like the old mic, but I will use this one now because I think it does sound a bit more crisp when I use it. So let me know. We're gonna do a quick react to Barbecue Chillin'. She keeps up with Foodie's fuck shit so well. And her video is only 5 minutes, so I don't expect mine to be that long. But I am interested to see how the heifer dirty deleted yet another aspect of her personality. She has no confidence and she's just full of cowardice. But I don't want this to be too long. So we're gonna get this fired up. Barbecue Chillin' is one of my favorite editors of Foodie's fuck shit, along with so many. Piggy, um, oh my God, Marley Hendrix, Chicken Pickle. There are a lot of young, innovative, and creative editors. There are people that give amazing commentary, like Girl Please, Garlic Bread, Unicorn Pondu, French Fry Girl, The Digital Underground. There are so many people on here that I'm finding out all the time. Jade Speculation Station, Hannibal, One Salty Beach, who introduced me to Hannibal, who introduced me to a lot of people like Rose Dawn Reacts, the Neo Tarot Reader. This community is full of diversity, and I'm not here to make everybody kumbaya, but I'm telling you, I love seeing new channels every day, channels from around the world. It keeps this interesting instead of depressing, which it normally is for a lot of us. And I've put in my community tab posts, there's no shame to my game, and I'm not doing it for praise. I was at my worst 512 pounds. I am significantly smaller, but I'm still not at my goal weight. I'm going to get there. And I think the difference between myself and the heifers is they are still making excuses for why it's so hard. It is hard. But what's harder is knowing that you are poisoning yourself into an early grave for no reason except for a quick dopamine hit that all that food you eat and all those sodas that you're drinking get you. You don't want to be called out. But we are literally watching you unalive yourself. But like I said, this has already been enough. You don't need my sermon to start it up. So let's get barbecue chillin' poppin'.
She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap.
The same curve. I always run over that. She's that respectable girl.
Oh la 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 lee.
Keep it on.
Oh la 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 lee.
Stop the dog.
Oh la 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 lee.
Stop the dog.
Oh la 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 lee.
Keep it on.
Oh la 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 lee.
Dog.
Wow.
Oh la 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 lee.
Dog.
Wow.
Oh la 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 lee.
Gotta like, hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys, okay? Just wait. I will be right back. Alright. Sorry, I can't help when I have to go to the washroom, so. Alright, let's go in the garage. Oh my gosh, the door's already open? There's like 1,000 rooms, by the way.
Let me tell you something about game streaming. A lot of us who do, because when I get back to it on my Sundays in Solona, which is DDO, Dungeons and Dragons Online, we do have to do things like take breaks for bathrooms, breaks to get water, or whatever things we want to have while we're gaming. I have an AFK screen just for that so that people aren't just speculating if I'm coming back, how long it's going to take. They can tune in and see the AFK stream and be like, okay, I'll go over to another stream and then check back to see if she's there. Foodie gives no fuck. She really doesn't care what she does. And let me just show you because it's cute. It's my little Nixie thing. That is my AFK screen for when I need to step away from stuff. It kills me that she just does not seem to care at all about anything. And I just really wish she would just figure out what she wants to do with her channel and stick to it. But like diets and everything fucking else in her life, all of this is just for whatever. It's like throwing shit at a wall and hoping that it doesn't slide down at this point.
thanks for the dono.
Oh, that scared me.
Oh, for Pete's sake. I heard that it plays some weird ass music. I don't want it on my channel because I don't want her trying to strike my channel, even though I know she's gonna try because she's a very bitter, jealous heifer.
Don't you touch the door. You freaking freak. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I want to get to.
Oh boy. It's playing with a ball somewhere.
Her
Ah!
gameplay is annoying. That scream alone was ridiculous. You don't play horror games if you can't play it like a normal person. Wait till something actually happens before you scream, heifer. This is so stupid. I'm jumping ahead. Sorry. I can't take her wannabe phasmophobia thing.
Ex-best friend liked to comment calling your mom an N-word with hard R. What? That's disgusting.
Shannon did not do that. I do not believe that Shannon would use a racial slur against your mama or any of that. I don't understand why her chat keeps being full of instigators trying to start shit. But Shannon is basically not even on the internet the way some of these heifers are. And I won't let you lie on her name. We were all in FFG's chat last night talking about all the bullshit that Chantal has put out there, including that fake unaliving story that she keeps running with. There was no racial slurs. And I honestly get annoyed when people accuse people of racism and have absolutely no fucking proof, just using their word of mouth. You've tried to do that against other creators, causing divisions too. And it's infuriating that somebody who's had racial slurs lobbed at me to my face. Don't lie on people on stuff like that.
I don't know how people find that an insult. I mean, like, to call somebody that, like, as
You're not black. How the fuck can you even... I don't know what she thinks, especially since you have a very storied history of bigotry, anti-Semitism, internalized misogyny, and racism. Just because you fetishize black and brown don't mean you truly love and understand us, heifer. But it's an insult because it was meant to dehumanize. Slurs are meant to dehumanize people. You know because you use them a lot, heifer.
in, like, I don't mean the word. I know the word's atrocious and the connotations, but
You know the word's atrocious, so why the fuck are you saying that you don't know why people take insults being called it? Why the fuck would you... Stop being such a fucking contradicting cow for just a minute. I know you cannot use empathy because, like I said, as a high-functioning sociopath, I have what they say is intellectual empathy. I can understand why a person feels that way, but it's up to me to decide whether I give a fuck or not. It took years for me to understand that. You are a very undiagnosed, low-functioning sociopath. If you can't understand what people who have had that word said to us, said to our kids, said to our parents and grandparents for fucking years to dehumanize us, oh, I can't. She, calm down. She's not worth the rage.
I mean, why is skin color a freaking insult? Like, get a life.
You're an idiot. You called 3 kids or 3 people little black bastards. It's an insult because you had to hyper focus on them being black. I know you watched my video, you fucking liar. I know you know why you're in the wrong, but you never like to be called out for being in the wrong.
Shut the fuck up!
Exactly.
All right, guys, thanks for beezing. This was fun. I'm gonna, if I can't sleep, I'm gonna practice on my own a bit, and then maybe we'll have another next time I game. You know, we'll see.
Gross how people don't believe my story, even though there is video evidence of him being an abuser on video.
The irony of saying, well, there's proof of him being abusive on video. And then, well, you doo-doo. Ma'am, there's no proof of him doing fuck all to you on video.
Not only that, but to add to FFG, because I know Chantel wanted to say, well, she wanted me to show that. No, we didn't. I know that what I went through with my ex-partner before I found my life partner, I have only my word versus his. I only have a lot of the mental scars now instead of the physical scars anymore. And that's why when I hear an actual victim, I feel some sort of way for them because it is not easy surviving something like that. Not realizing that you're not alone in this helps so much because there were times where you didn't think you were going to get out of it alive. You did not live that life, Chantel. That's why you constantly attack people who have. And that is why we throw back at you that there's absolutely no way you understand what we went through or went through it yourself. Because if you did, there is absolutely no way you would ever use that as an insult. You are a horrible person for this. Now she goes, I admit watching the trailer made me cry, and I guess that's my problem. It is, and you need to work it out with a therapist. I have to figure out why I feel this emotional response by watching. It's hard to see the mirror before us. You never look at a real mirror, filter brain. It's hard to see the mirror before us, and sometimes I just lump you immediately in the same category as a hate Jones who nobody's dehumanizing you. We are taking the truth of your lies, of your irresponsibility, of your frivolousness, of your overeating, and tossing it back at you. I will fully admit, once again, I do not particularly like you, and I do not find your oh my god, content jumping and continent jumping, whatever. That's where my brain was going. Interesting without reaction channels because you lie too much. Any sympathy I wanted to feel for you, I ended up not because I realized that you craft a lot of your life and a lot of your lies. You just can't stand when the truth is facing you because the truth hurts at times. Even I put up with truthful things lobbed at me all the time. It is what it is. You take what you can and you make yourself better, or you just whine and be the perpetual victim that we know you like being for the little bit of coins you got to give to Salah to keep him.
Those Sam's Bar Lounge videos is what I assume you're alluding to. They have nothing to do with you, and that really bothers you.
And I'm going to add to this because that a lot of people wanted to twist that to FFG saying that she wanted to monetize or monopolize on being abused. And Foodie, you were the one that put it out there. You were also the one that walked it back. I watched Garlic Bread. He did a not even react. He replayed your words on why you walked back the abuse claims, why you didn't file and everything. And I will even give you that it is true that a lot of us don't go to cops. We don't want file charges because we just want the situation to stop. But that wasn't the case for you. It was all manipulation. And you just hate that we're calling that shit out. Point blank. You and the Canadian crack demon, as I call him, are the only ones that know what really went on. But the way you continued to chase him, the way you continued to bring him up, the way you had your own new husband bring him up, my man doesn't talk about the ex-idiot at all. He has no reason to. He's the one that has me. There is absolutely no reason for him to constantly bring up my past because that's where it's supposed to be. But you constantly, for whatever reason, think it is okay to constantly bring that man who allegedly hurt you up into the conversation and you blame it. No, said others brought it up because we watched the Crackhead Olympics, because we did that, and we're re-traumatizing you. But if you weren't watching us, you wouldn't know, would you? See, you tell on yourself. And you hate that we point out that you tell on yourself. We know your sock accounts. Charles Reed, anybody? Who's been harassing Dank Fooper, which you really need to stop. Sarah Lee, and plenty of others who keep trying my ass even though I'm supposedly a nobody. You're only hurting yourself, Chantel. Get help. You need it. When I'm a public figure and
those videos have nothing to do with you, and that bothers you.
You know what? I don't want to hear his voice either. I'm not even going to give attention by even saying his name because, like the Canadian crack demon, he's like Beetlejuice too. And he has all the smoke for female reactors. Barely any smoke for male reactors. And you know what? I just don't want to give him, his voice, or anything about him attention. I even have people that I like that like him. But you know what? I don't believe that it was watching his thing that you got those comments about May, because you literally gave that man an alibi for the sexual assault allegation that May had against him because you wanted him to claim you. That is documented fact. I cannot understand why the fuck this man keeps trying to push his way in the gore world, but I'm telling you, I'm going to pay him the dust he deserves. I didn't discredit May. I didn't believe her at the time because I believed his lies because I was manipulated by him. You know, as somebody who is really in a physically, mental, and emotional situation in my past, there are some women that get like that where they will take up for their spouses, especially no matter what. But knowing what I knew about my ex, there's absolutely no way if somebody came to me with a credible allegation against him that I wouldn't have believed it. Because no matter what, it is on you to make the mental connection that you're with a bad person. If he was allegedly hurting you at the time, and we're all supposed to believe that he was hurting you at this time, but you decided that he was just suave enough and manipulative enough to convince you that he wasn't capable of that. All the stuff that you've said about that awful man and his current partner, and saying that she deserves all the bad that he brings on her. But you didn't want to believe back then that he was capable of assaulting somebody? Are you fucking serious? And because your biggest cheerleader wants to bring it up, and he's right now manipulating you because you're the only one that gives him the attention that he craves on here. You really want to freaking attack FFG, but you still won't come at her correctly. You, which we know you sit in her channel, because you're constantly in there, just raging about what we say about you. Why don't you use her words directly instead of going with him? I'm going to see if his voice is still being used.
And said, I don't.
Nope. If his voice is still being used, I don't want anything. Let's see. Okay, I was going to make a whole video about this, but I don't feel like you don't spend energy on anything but eating and moping on this. But the comment is false. If you watch the video on Roman's channel, we are taking she was supposed to stop talking about the cat. I remember. You remember. I'm done. BBJ is in a much better place. She doesn't have to worry about going over Box Mountain or mountains of garbage or being given treats when she's in pain. I am done with Chantel trying to twist the narrative about how bad of a pet owner she is, because we know Julia's still not spayed. We know Julia is living in squalor. We know that you already broke one of them dining room chairs, and that's why you're using Salah's gaming chair at a dining table, holding the Timu thing up so that we don't see Gunther. You live a fantasy and you get mad at it being pointed out. But what I am definitely not going to do is keep this up where you continue to try to make yourself a victim. BBJ was your victim. And talking about OSPCA not going in, they don't have the right. They are not cops unless there is clearly severe animal abuse where they can get a warrant to bring a law enforcement person with them to come into the house. We used to have a show that actually dealt with stuff like that. I don't know if it was on Animal Planet or what, but they would go around, and even if they got a report, the most they can do is knock, hope the owners let them in. If they don't, they leave a notice saying, hey, we showed up here, we have gotten several complaints. If there is physical evidence of abuse, which there was, the dirt alone should have made them get Ottawa police involved, but it does take a lot of resources. And you ran to clean up or have your mama clean up, Miss 7 Bags of Trash, all the stuff in that villa so that maybe you wouldn't have to deal with that. Because you knew there was documented proof that those cats were living in squalor. And I keep seeing it in comments, and I will remind you again. Timbits died, locked in a room, suffering with these two idiots. Her and Pete's allowed for so much. I guess they thought cats just weren't living creatures that need constant care, attention, and, more than just treats shoved at them. You need to take them to regular vets. And I know it can add up, but it's worth it. You would do it for a child. Well, maybe not her, but you have to do it for a child too. You cannot have living things in your life and not want them to keep living and thriving. Heifer. Let me see if there's anything more. Because without that, they can't pay their bills. I prove it too. Don't talk about me for a month and see how you do. I don't just talk about you, Heifer. You are just a side thing for me. My wheelhouse is writing and talking about politics and social issues. Your past is all you have because your present fucking sucks. You're sitting alone in an apartment in Kuwait, one of a very beautiful country. If you were motivated to try at least to get out, even if you had to cover up and learn about the area around you, I'd have a little bit more respect. But you say your past is past you. No, the fuck it's not. Because you do not have a present and your future ain't looking that great either. And that was the end. And I'm sorry I didn't play more. But it's like I said, there are certain creators on here that I will always give props to. I will use them, their voices, if they speak on stuff. And normally Barbecue Chillin' weighs in. But what I am not going to do is let that Chantel's biggest cheerleader be all over my earbuds and stuff. No, thank you. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying this. Watch the Mr. Snowflake documentary when it comes out. Because Heifer walked it back when she seen him and did that live Just Bees and Reacts bullshit. She's so all over the place and she refuses to get help. And that is none of our fault. We are just casual observers of her fuck shit. And she just can't stand that we're not all bowing and scraping to her wannabe delusional princess fantasy. But I will be back probably tomorrow on Twitch with my Bonnet Chronicles. We are going to talk about highlights in Black History Month and other fun topics. It's going to be separate from this calling out the heifer. This is going to be YouTube content only, but I like my Twitch content. I like that I can focus on things that make me happy, things that make me upset, things that I can talk about without constantly weighing in on her pathetic life. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, maybe even this Saturday if we don't have to go into town for anything, because I really want to try the live on YouTube. I have never done it, but it's going to be a lot. So just bear with me while I'm getting my bearings on all of this. But for now, I'm going to wrap this up.